So how do you turn a client into a regular and a return customer for your graphic design career? We'll find out today and utilize my tips on how to make your clients come back over and over again. What is up, people? It's Tom Satori here, and I'm back again with another graphic design video on the business side of things in this industry. So remember, if you want to learn more about graphic design as a business and how to leverage your skills to get more clients and thus more money, make sure to subscribe and tune in every single Friday here at Satori Graphics. So the first tip I have for you today is something that can carry over from just graphic design to life in general, and that is over-delivering. Now, what do I mean by over-delivering? Well, basically, especially when you're first starting out with a new client, if you promise them, say, 2 logo design concepts, present 3 concepts instead of 2. Or if you say that you're going to provide the final artwork on Friday, try and send it to them on Thursday. Now, over-delivering is something that's going to catch people off guard, and it shows that you're really intent on delivering a professional and a high-end service to your customer. Now, this is good because it's one of those surprises that they're not going to expect, and it shows that you're going to be reliable and an easy choice for them in the future. So yeah, over-delivering when you've actually got the time and the resources is always a good thing to do, and like I said, I implement this not just in graphic design, but I try and do it across the board in life in general. But anyway, on to the second point, how to make a client become a return client for your graphic design career. Now, being polite when you're talking to your customers or your clients is something that cannot be emphasized enough on just how important it is for your graphic design career. When you're talking to someone in general, if they're kind of harsh and they're cold, you don't really want to associate with that person, let alone do business with them. And this isn't something I need to force because I'm pretty much polite, naturally speaking. But just be mindful of how you talk to your clients or potential clients, as that sets the stone for a good relationship in the future. And they do say first impressions count, and that couldn't be more truthful when it comes to a relationship business with you and your potential client. So yeah, starting out initially, when you first speak to your customer, make sure you're polite, you're punctual, and you don't come across as cold or harsh. Now, the third point in today's video on how to make your clients come back to you for more work is never to miss a deadline. This goes without saying, but if you're always punctual and you never miss a deadline, that's a really solid peace of mind for your client, because they know they could offer you some work or a project and it's going to be sent back to them in the allocated time. You have to remember that these people are trusting you with their business essentially, and so you need to be on time and you need to be punctual. But if you know that you're going to miss a deadline because of some kind of problem with your computer or something's going on in your life, make sure to let them know, and again, be polite and try to get them to see your point of view. But essentially, you should always try never to miss a deadline for your graphic design clients. Now, the fourth tip today on how to make your clients come back to you for more and more work is to absolutely adhere to the brief. The brief for your project should be kind of like your Holy Bible or your Quran or whatever. It should be gospel. It should be your ticket to success, it's your map for the project. So make sure you read every single line in that brief and make sure you got it saved somewhere, like in the project folder or something. And as you're working, keep referring back to the brief to make sure that you miss nothing on there, because your client has basically outlined all of the major and the key aspects of the project and they've put them in the brief. And if you deliver the graphics to your client and there's things missing from that brief, it's going to be an instant red flag and it's going to be a turn down for your graphic design client and your career. So yeah, make sure that you do adhere to the brief and always go back to it when you're working on your graphic design projects. Now, the fifth and the final tip today on setting up a good relationship for a return client in graphic design is to maybe post a thank you on social media. So if you know that your client uses social media on, say, maybe Twitter, for example, you could design a really nifty image saying something along the lines of, "Thank you to so-and-so for the opportunity on working on the great project and looking forward to working again in the future." This helps because it shows that you're attentive and you take the relationship and the business seriously. But also, if you tag that business or entity in the Twitter post, for example, they're going to get more exposure and it just solidifies your relationship together. Kind of like a relationship you'd have with a girlfriend or a boyfriend, to be honest. Just tag them in the post and it just kind of looks more professional as a designer. But of course, the graphics that you do make for that post should be really well done and it should show off your skills as a designer. So there were 5 quick tips on how you can turn a graphic design client into a return customer. over and over again. If you do like this kind of videos where I talk about the business side of things in graphic design, make sure to subscribe and tune in every single Friday here at Satori Graphics. Now I'm going to keep drinking my tea and sort out this sore throat of mine, but you have a great weekend and make sure to come back again on Monday for more graphic design content.